Hi Aquarius, thank you for joining me and welcome to your reading for August 2017. I think I've been saying 2016 over and over and over again, so I don't know what that's about, but I'm glad I said 2017 for you. Anyway, this reading is for you if you are a sun, moon, or rising Aquarius, or if you have Aquarius, Venus, or Mars, or if you just feel like watching. Maybe you like an Aquarius, or maybe you just want some extra messages. Remember, messages come to us through all varieties of different media, so you don't have to really stick to one thing. Of course, your sun's going to resonate more than anything else, or maybe your rising, but you can just kind of chill out and enjoy the ride with any sign. So I encourage you just to watch whatever you're drawn to at all times. So first off, why don't we take a look at your astrology? By the way, I'm accepting suggestions for clickbait titles, so if you guys want to suggest a clickbait title in the about section below, then please feel free to let me know, and if I catch it, then I will use it. So you have a really big month ahead of you. It's actually one of the most significant transits of all the signs. It's really powerful. So you and Leo technically have like a real blockbuster kind of August. For you, for different reasons, your August is much more centered on closing down certain behavioral themes in your life, moving on from certain behavioral themes, and then embracing new possibilities in relationships. So this is all good stuff. But let's begin with Uranus, which is in your third house of communication. So Uranus is actually going retrograde in the third house. The third house isn't just communication. It's also the house of sisters and brothers. It's also the house of your primary development. So 3 to 8 years old, you know, those early onsets of your experience and early experiences. You're kind of having an opportunity to revisit some things that maybe you've learned from an early age and maybe let go or restructure some of those things. That goes really well with the full moon eclipse that happens on August 7th in your first house in Aquarius. So this is a full moon eclipse, allows you to let go or culminate upon something that you've been developing or working your way through. So it is a powerful eclipse. It is in your first house, and it's actually conjunct transit that has just begun with the South Node transiting in this position. So I actually did a North Node video that you guys should check out in Leo, but I never did a South Node video. So since it is a full moon eclipse in Aquarius, I thought maybe because it's an eclipse, it's such a monumental kind of transit, maybe we should do a special on the South Node now and comment on, you know, some of the effects of the eclipse specifically for your sign. I'll do it for one for every single sign of the zodiac. Please let me know in the about section below if you're interested in that video. But overall, just as an overview, that South Node eclipse is going to eclipse out things within your personality, cut out things within your personality that are no longer working for you. So things that are not helpful to your life, progress, development, and happiness. So you should feel pretty excited about that. Next, we're going to talk about Venus retrograde. This is happening, Mercury retrograde. This is happening in your 8th house. It starts on August 12th and ends on September 5th. Mercury retrograde has a lot of stigma around it. There's a lot of, things that people say. It's important for you to be mindful at this time because in the 8th house, you could initiate quite a bit of change without knowing it. It actually allows you to kind of think about the things that you say and how you say them. However, because everybody's going to be so triggered by this transit, by Mercury retrograde, you might fall into the trap of prematurely ending things. And especially for the new moon eclipse, this is going to be significant because the retrograde of Mercury is going to be happening while the eclipse happens on August 21st. The new moon eclipse happens in Leo here in the 7th house, and this is really powerful. I already mentioned this to you guys for your new moon July video. New moon in Leo at 0 degrees. Well, this is a continuation of energy into August with the North Node, Mars, Moon, and the Sun creating what's called a stellium. Stellium means that a lot of planets are in one spot. So this is in the area of partnerships, relationships, romantic partnerships, as well as business partnerships. So this is the time to push forward towards significant things that are going to impact your life and take your life to the next level. The North Node, whenever you have massive transits, whenever you have significant transits in the same spot as the North Node, you should expect very monumental changes in your life. And these are very prosperous, very exciting, and Mars is adding fuel to the fire. Now, expect new relationships to develop for you around that time, August 21st or so, or possibly expect that, maybe you set out on a new journey in a new direction with regard to business. So the world is your oyster. It definitely is opening up for you. We will do a special on the eclipse to speak about it more in depth, but what's more important for you to remember at this time is that eclipses, both the full moon eclipse on August 7th and the new moon eclipse in Leo on August 21st, is going to have a really long-term resonance in your life that you get to work through. So both your personality and your partnerships are going to be affected. Now, the final transit that I want to give a nod to, I know there's other transits as well, but this is really important to take kind of some attention towards, is the conjunction between Lilith and Saturn in your 11th house. Now, 11th house is the house that Aquarius traditionally rules. This is the house of ruled also by Uranus traditionally. Your house is actually Sagittarian. But what this house is in charge of is friendships, possibilities, luck, transformation in general. And so Saturn has been hauling ass through your 11th house and really working through which friendships are suitable and maintainable and healthful, and which friendships are not conducive to your well-being or to your future. And so you may have had this kind of a drought, of friends for the last 2.5 years, and over the last few months, while Saturn has been in what's called retrograde, maybe you've seen some of those friends come back around. However, you may find that as Saturn goes direct on August 25th, those restrictions on friendship start happening for you again. Now, these restrictions are necessary to improve your social life, to improve your friendship life. However, Lilith coming into a conjunction, the same spot as Saturn, is going to create great disharmony in this area of your life. So on the one hand, you are taking steps in order to improve your social life, in order to find proper relationships, but Lilith is going to throw in a lot of curveballs. It's going to throw in external curveballs in the way of friends that may not be suitable for you, or maybe feelings, internal loopholes that have to do with you and your feelings and how you feel about friends, or maybe drives or desires and making certain choices that will have consequences. So be very cautious of impulsive behavior throughout now until the end of the summer. And as this transit happens and the conjunction happens while Saturn goes direct, just be very mindful of the energy that you're throwing into your social life, because it will have far-reaching consequences. Sorry that got a little long-winded, but I hope that you guys enjoy it. If anybody's bothered by that, why don't you guys leave a comment down below with a time cap for the other part of the reading. Now, this is a shamanic part of the reading. I got these cards. They are self-published. It's a little publishing place. If you guys are into these cards and want them, email me, and next time I go, I will pick them up. I did not find them online anywhere, so maybe this will be the only place where you can find them. So these cards were created on full moons, I think over a 12-year period, full moons and new moons, and it's shamanic, which means that there is very archetypal, it's very metaphorical. And so we are dealing with energies that have to do with kind of more subtlety, more kind of a mystic approach. So if that doesn't work for you, just hang tight. This is the number 11 card. And so I will directly read from the book, the accompanying book, in order to give you guys some kind of clarity. with regard to this, but I'm finding it quite rewarding, and the other signs really enjoyed these cards as well. I was going to actually stop using them, and then I had a request to continue. So I'm going to read excerpts from the write-up about this card, number 11, the Sun card. We have change. The power needed, excuse me, maybe that's what I meant to read. The power needed to shift the situation will be the sound of alarm. Change will come by finding the right reason. Your relationship to the change in this situation is upright. The moment of letting go into the change will smell vulgar. The concern to be avoided within this change will taste of extravagance. Divine will. The wisdom of not turning in will empower the transformation. Complete transformation will be felt as a quality of dancing. Maybe I'll read a little bit more and then I'll read your guys' story. The situation. The situation began by feeling depression. The prevailing energy of this situation is unexpected quiet. The core energy pattern of this situation is overcoming tragedy. The mother of this situation is a soft touch. The father of this situation is Fox's music. Okay. So now let's read a little story time. It's just 4 paragraphs. So if you're not into it, again, jump to the next section. Okay, so it's called Doing the Work. There was a couple who found a mouse in their house. How it got there, they didn't know, but they decided it could not be just hanging out and must be trapped. The couple used a box baited with peanut butter crackers, and after their success, they drove the little mouse a long distance from their home. The next day, the couple was surprised to find the tiny mouse babies under the tail of their old dog. They had apparently crawled in to avoid the energy loss from the morning cold. The couple realized that these are the children of the mouse they had trapped, and although they could toss them outside, they decided they were not going there. The couple thought, through our actions, Spider-Woman's web will be broken. They wondered how to mend the net of the broken family. In a burst of forces marshaled to the nature of these creatures, so new in the world, the couple built a moss-soft nest in the plastic tub and fitted the top with a screen lid. The first of these 3 babies dined on eyedroppers full of warm milk. Days later, they feasted on birdseed and hard-boiled egg. At night, the 3 mouse children would run laps upside down on the screen lid of their home and then sleep in a puddle of tiny feet and pink noses during the day. At last, the couple took the plastic tub to the forest and, offering peanut butter crackers as rewards, encouraged the mice to enter their rightful world. Years later, the woman found herself in exhaustion and pain from the discovery of a childhood trauma. She closed her eyes and asked for help. In her inner sight, she saw the little mouse nose wiggling towards her face and felt a spirit energy communication. She understood that this was the mouse mother, and to repay the gift of her children's lives, the mouse indicated she would be doing the work, helping the woman find her way back to her family, because the memory of wild things is as long as forever. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and why don't we start on the tarot? So I picked for you guys a different deck. This is called Stelos Tarot. It's a really beautiful deck. It's an out-of-print deck, so if you're able to get a copy of it, I would really recommend you do, because I'm not sure if this is going to get reprinted. I actually don't think it will. So here's the homage to this. This is called the Sun card, so why don't we put that here up here so you guys see it. First of all, let's take a look at the bottom of the deck. We have the 9 of Wands. So Aquarius, you're kind of barricaded in some place that is comfortable and place that you can trust, something that you feel comfortable with. This is so Aquarian, right? Looking up at the stars and hoping that the world will produce or procure for you something wonderful and novel in your life. And I think something's coming for you in August, particularly around the 21st of August with the new moon eclipse, especially if you do the work on the full moon eclipse. So the full moon eclipse happens on the 7th, right? That's when you're supposed to do some kind of rehashing of your personality. and whatever your personal life is requiring of you, it's in your first house. The South Node has a lot to do with releasing things from the past and past lives if you believe in them, or past narratives, family narratives from the past. So it's really a liberation point. It's going to be exciting. You guys should watch that video. But then if you do the work well, or if you're in the right path, by the time we have the new moon eclipse in the 7th house, you will have an opportunity to begin in new directions in terms of partnership. Here is the next message. We have the 3 of Pentacles, or 3 of Discs. So work is the main theme for you this month. It looks kind of strange because we don't have very many transits in the 10th or the 2nd house. So maybe this is the corollary of other experiences that you have had. In terms of astrology, you have a month that's really focused on social life. Your 11th house, which is the house of friendship, is activated in a grand trine with your 7th house, the house of partnership, and as well your 3rd house of communication. So it's an outwardly month in which you are actually communicating with a lot of different people. But maybe some of the work is being done on a personal level as you're getting prepared to meet the requirements of whatever circumstances you find yourself in terms of your social life. But the 3 of Discs says that you're working really hard towards something in order to achieve something that will get you a lot of benefit. I think people around you are admiring your work, and I think that your workmanship and craftsmanship is going to get rewarded. Now, this can mean work, but it can also mean those things within your personality that you're working through, the things that you are working upon and trying to improve. Here is your next message, and we have the Death card. This is the card of Scorpio. We don't have any transits in Scorpio at this time, so yeah, it could just mean something to do with your career. Your 10th house, your career house, is ruled by Scorpio, and so you could be feeling some kind of change that's happening around. Maybe some of the lessons that you're learning have to do with enlightening yourself, or learning a new facet of letting go of situations in order to improve upon that which has already begun or will begin. The next card is, we have the World card, or the Universe card in this deck. So this is the big life lesson about expanding your horizons and growing beyond that which is yours. So I think that maybe there is more to circumstances than you first expect. Maybe a facet of what you are going through has to do with letting go of a little part of who and what you are and what's going on around you. So there's a requirement in a certain way for you to let go of thoughts and ideas and processes, and then look forward to new opportunities. It's time to really break out, and you're waiting for that moment, that star to come down and land in your hand. So there is some kind of fated event that is happening for you in August. I would think that it's probably going to happen around the new moon or the full moon. So August 7th or August 21st, both are going to be very significant for you for a long time. Usually a new moon or a full moon has a cycle of about a year, with culminating or being eliminated within 6 months, and then the whole cycle beginning over again. However, I think with eclipses, the range of that is much greater. And so you should be expecting to see the benefits of what happens right now for a long period of time. And so it's very important for you to actually, kind of really put a lot of thought and effort behind your own personality, as well as your partnerships with other people. Remember, this does not mean only romantic partnerships. This can also mean business partnerships, etc. And so Leo is a very vivacious sign, and in fact the eclipse is going to be happening in conjunction with a fixed star called Regulus. Now Regulus sits at, I think, 29 or maybe 0 degrees Virgo now, and this star is one of the most famous stars in ancient astrology. It's associated with brilliance, often attributed to rulers and kingship. So this is really you ascending at a higher level to some kind of authority in an area of your life. It's really a blessing, not something to take lightly. Now, I think that for everybody, this is an energy that you need to actively engage in and connect with. You can't just kind of shrug your shoulders, and kind of brush it under the carpet. This is something that you want to fully connect with and grow upon. It's something that you actively want to plan for, okay? Just the same as with the Saturn-Lilith conjunction at the end of August, August 25th. You want to be very careful with that energy. So you want to be tentative around your friends and social life, and you want to be fully engaged in your internal process of personal development, which is the first house 7th, August 7th full moon eclipse, as well as the new moon eclipse on August 21st in your 7th house of partnership. So you want to actively plan for those things, all three of those things this August. Okay, so here is the next message. So we have the Princess of Swords, a Gemini, Aquarius, or a Libra. Now this can be you. I love this card. It suggests that there's a new idea that is taking hold, a new way of looking at things. This could be a trial of a new idea that is being brought forward. This could be a person who comes into your life at this time and interjects in a way. Overall, she's probably going to be helpful, and it's going to be a helpful energy rather than something that detracts from your well-being. Here is the next message. We have the Four of Cups. Now, in this position and where this is, I think that you might feel as though something is being forced upon you. At first, you might feel tentative towards it. You might feel as though it's not necessarily exactly what you want. You might feel as though, a test of courage, that kind of thing. You could be feeling as though something is being given to you. This star that's coming can actually, this new thing that's coming into your life may in a certain way feel as though it is a bit of something that you don't want. Well, give it some time, and I think that in a certain way that can develop into something that's quite nice, something that you actually really will enjoy, and something that will prove to you be of help and of service and of like good mojo, okay? So here is the center card. Now this is the heart chakra, so this is really heart of the matter, and here we have the Three of Swords. Ooh, brutal, huh? So we have the Three of Swords, and only to Aquarius can I just say brutal, huh? It's the understanding of a situation and focusing on what must be done. It's like taking an adult approach to situations and circumstances. You may feel a certain degree of malaise as you shift between the things you have to change within your first house, your personality, and the new partnerships. And sometimes we have to be kind of stripped down of certain things, which is on August 7th, that full moon eclipse that happens in your first house of personality. We have to be stripped down of something in order to be able to project in a new direction. And on the heels of that, allow that process to happen. So if you're losing something within yourself, if you're being criticized, or if you are in a certain way moving past a quality that you were really tied to within your personality, or recognizing that one way of doing things is no longer going to cut it, or you're going to suffer the consequences, then really embrace the energy of the new moon and allow it to take you forward into new possibilities by relinquishing those things that you don't need to. Aquarius's strength is that of self-determinism. You have the capability to, more than probably any other sign, to rise above your personality defects. So if you're an Aquarius who's more in the shadow end of Aquarius, you could feel as though this is a time to elevate and move past anything that is, holding you back. So you have that capability at this time, and with the full moon eclipse, with the south node there in your first house of personality, I really encourage you to just really trash any aspect of your personality that's unfortunate. And so when you do that on August 21st, you can see the new moon eclipse, which initiates something new in your area of partnership, really prosper. So it's really about how much work you're willing to put into the situation, and maybe a part of that is to do with a heartbreak. So if you experience some degree of a heartbreak or realization, a really kind of sit within your space and wait for the blessing that comes on its heels. So really appreciate the lesson of the heartbreak of something that you've been putting up with, of something that you have initiated that was unfortunate. There's some kind of mechanism that's not working. Stick to your work, stick to the things that you control, allow things to change as they must, accept the change and the transformation and the awareness of change, the possibility of change throughout the month. Even if in the beginning of the month you feel a little bit disappointed, keep pushing forward, because there's going to be a punchline to this, there's going to be some kind of corollary, there's going to be some kind of positive outcome. And the more fluid and tolerant you are of this energy, just like in our story, there is a massive turnaround in a situation that seems impenetrable. Here is the next message, and this is your card here. We have the Four of Wands. Now, this is the marriage card. This is also the card of finding comfort and security in your home. So that's a wonderful omen. So that means that even though maybe emotionally or intellectually you'll be in some way thwarted or challenged in August or for a part of August, it's not like a suffering. It has more to do with like the big questions are being answered, and you're called upon to answer them and to kind of face the music on a couple different things. As that is happening, you will find grounding within your home, and you'll find security within your home and comfort within the relationship that you have around yourself, possibly with a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, or someone with a lot of new ideas, someone who's introducing new ideas into your life. So it could be just a friendship, or it could be something more, but I think that it's going to fundamentally change how you approach things. On the other hand, this is like the thing that you're stuck with, the thing that you have to just put up with. This is like the branding, the branding is being gifted upon you. You kind of, the present that you don't necessarily know if you want to accept, but you have to accept it. So it's those socks at Christmas or whatever else. And then you come to realize that those socks at Christmas are like your favorite socks, and you wear them all year long, and you realize grandma's socks are actually like the best thing that the best present you got for Christmas, right? So that's like the energy that's happening here. And so that's giving you kind of an expanded worldview about expanding your horizons, and it takes you out of that closed space of the heartbreak and gives you the aha open moment of like understanding what the consequences of things are. So it's really brightening your perspective. Here is the next message. We see the Temperance card. So Sagittarius is a big part of your life at this time. This could be a person who is interjecting with some kind of idea. This is the 11th house, remember? So this is what we were talking about the end of August with Saturn and with Lilith here. So you want to be very cautious with this energy, On the one hand, you want to push forward towards new friendships. Don't back off. These friendships are important. Saturn is renegotiating, showing you which kind of friends are good friends to have, which kind of friends are not good friends. But for you, you are sensitive because Lilith is going to come through. She's going to give you ambitious thoughts and ideas. She's going to put people in your way who may seem as though they are a good alignment for you, and then you come to realize that maybe they're maladapted, or maybe that there is some kind of negative consequence to knowing them. So you need to have this kind of walk the fine line of the catch-22, walk the fine line of the paradox. You need to push forward with friendships, but also be discerning and careful at this time. Make sure to watch out for Sagittarius. For most of you, I feel as though this is a positive energy. This is a person who's directly connected to the lesson that you are experiencing in August. Here is the next message. We have the Chariot. This is the sign of Cancer. So tolerant, accepting. This is a wonderful card for you in this position. So the thing that you're putting into the situation is tolerance. I can roll with this, I can roll with that, always having this kind of attitude of tolerance and acceptance. Whatever is coming, you're taking it to a good place. You're sitting in your like little hobble, you're feeling comfortable within your own space. And so you're building upon things in a good direction. You're not letting, heartbreak kind of let you down. You're kind of, taking it on the chin, they say. Here is the outcome. So we have beautiful Ten of Pentacles. Hard work manifests as a great outcome. I couldn't have thought of a better card for you guys. So I really want to say congratulations, you know. This is about maybe kind of selecting certain choices for a greater perspective and seeing good outcomes come out of the efforts that you put into things. This is making the right choices, accepting endings when there should be endings, accepting things from the universe that you never thought would be appropriate for you. So it's being open to what the world gives you, having new friends and seeing also possibilities and opportunities open up before you. You know, your eyes are being opened, maybe by a friend or maybe by someone else. Somebody's just kind of reframing things for you a little bit. This is a sidebar kind of event that's going on, but it's very foundational to your overall well-being. And here it is, like, you're proven at the end to be right. You're proven at the end to have chosen the right choice. It's like the wonderful happy ending, you know? Maybe I'll call your video. I've been looking for a video to call a happy ending. So remind me in the comments below. Yours is happy ending, money, balling. This is together. Like, maybe some of you are going to be falling into a relationship, possibly with a Scorpio or possibly with a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, male or female, or maybe this is you kind of stepping into a new relationship. Since this is a bit of a relationship thing, maybe letting go of a past hurt or relationship. I've been pulling out, for those of you who have waited for your readings, the good old Doreen Virtue card. So maybe I'll pick one card for your 10 of discs. And let me know in the comments below if you want me to do a video specific for the full moon and south node transit to focus on what that brings. So you have retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. I don't like the picture of this card, but I do feel as though, you know, kind of finding your proper space, finding your private space where to actually find comfort, find understanding. I'm going to clarify that, actually. It's bugging me. Doesn't seem very Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles is to be with others. Or maybe this is you, like, going somewhere to have a significant moment. This seems more like a bride and her father, right, than a bride with her partner. But it seems as though that there's like a, you know, they're off to have some kind of deep conversation or understanding. Here is the next message, and we have very soon. Clearly decide what you want so it comes to you now. So maybe as you're watching this right now, before all of August happens, how about we do this as an exercise? All my Aquarian clan, why don't you guys go in the About section below and write down what it is that you want so that it comes to you now. So write down in the comment below exactly what you want, and then maybe later on in August come back and check out what you wanted right now and see how that's manifested. You don't have to be explicit. If you're being private, then you can write something in a cryptic way. You don't have to, you know, divulge your personal things online, but just maybe make a note for yourself in the comment section below what you actually want to come, and see if that manifests by the end of August. Because I think you're going to go for a little loop-de-loop here. I think you're going to go through, you know, a time when you're focused on work, and then boom, back around and out with, you know, some kind of good outcome, and probably some level of a new relationship. Thank you so much for watching. Please give me a like and subscribe. I will talk with you soon, Aquariuses. Bye.